Professors building startups is a little different because the mindset is different as a professor when you're doing a lot of R&D.
The motivation was basically that for a long time in the lifetime of professors, I would say you keep just doing lots of R&D.
Maggie, the company that you're founding is AI Egypt 255, is it?
Yes, we say it as AI Egypt 255.
So welcome lifters to the LIF podcast. Today we have Maggie from Egypt, and Maggie is a mom and wife. That's the introduction I have for her. Both are very challenging jobs that she has, and she's also the founder and CEO of AI Egypt 255. So we'll get to know why we have 255 in the name as well. So and she's again an associate professor of AI and computer engineering. She's a board member of IEEE Women in Engineering Egypt section. So Maggie, welcome to the LIF podcast.
Thank you, Suraj. Thank you for the intro. Happy to be here.
Okay, and Maggie, can you give a brief introduction about what your startup does? And again, the name, why we have the 255, or interestingly, how that attribute came in. So over to you.
Sure. So my startup is AI Egypt 255. It's basically a company for digital transformation services with AI at its core. So we're trying to help customers across the globe through their digital transformation journey and the integration of artificial intelligence and new technologies. So be it consultancies, be it implementation of products. So we help from day one until the end throughout your whole journey. And that's where the name came from. We wanted to do AI-based services. So that's why Egypt came. We're replacing the E in Egypt with AI. And 255 because we offer a comprehensive set of solutions. So it's like having 360 that says that we're offering a huge or the whole set of services because we come from a computer engineering background and specifically networks. In networks, the all-inclusive one is the 255. So we chose to have a flavor of where we originally come from, and hence came the name AI Egypt 255.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. I would not have guessed the 255 part of it. But I think that's very unique and interesting. And I think it's going to become a talking conversation for a lot of when you give out the name. So it's a very smart way of putting the 255 part in the name. So
yes, thank you. It caught your attention, so that's the target.
Yeah, that's perfect. And Maggie, congratulations on being promoted to the associate professor in your university, and again being elected as a part of representing the LIF Global 2023 cohort. So how did you feel on both the situations back to back, and what are your feelings around when it happened?
Yes, I'm feeling amazing about both actually. The first one happened in June, so they really were very consecutive. The promotion to associate professor came in June. I'm now an associate professor of artificial engineering. It's a field that I have been pursuing for quite some years now. So it's being able to reap what you sow. They have been investing a lot of effort into this, and now getting this promotion. So it was really a privilege. And then in July, when we were in London for concluding the LIF program, we also had the elections for who's going to join the Alumni Advisory Council. It was the first time for us to learn about the AAC and that the Royal Academy of Engineering have this council which really takes care of all its alumni and keeps all the alumni connected together and connected to the academy. And they're like the bond that is there to give feedback between both of them, tell the alumni about further opportunities and connecting them together, and telling the academy about what the alumni needs or what can be improved, what's really going well, what's really needed, and so on. When I first heard about it, I thought that would be a great idea. These people are doing a great job. And then we have these elections that someone from every cohort, I'm from the cohort LIF Global 23. So we need one representative from this cohort to join the Alumni Advisory Council. I was very interested and I said, okay, let's go for it. We had the election day and then we had a 1-minute pitch why people should elect me as an AAC member. I did the pitch and the elections was there, and then my name came up. So it was really great to see that people are really trusting me and they want me to join this role on behalf of them and to be the representative for the LIF Global cohort. Later on, when I started joining the meetings and so on, it became more obvious about what roles that I should do. It was for me, I wanted to pay back to the academy. Really, the LIF program has been life-changing for me. So any way of improving the program and helping others join this program and getting on board and going through the commercialization process, all the help we had, all the learning, meeting the amazing mentors, and of course, the amazing team from the Academy and Accenture was really life-changing. So I wanted to pay back for this. I wanted to help improve this and make sure people know about it and get involved about it. So yes, it was really great, these two appointments in 2 consecutive months.
Wow. Congratulations once again. And so coming back to the startup, so professors building startups is a little different because the mindset is different as a professor when you're doing a lot of R&D, and here you are in the perspective mindset of going out there to make money. So a lot of professors mostly move into licensing or kind of applications where you would not want to go into a full-fledged business. So what inspired you to solve this problem, and how would you like to commercialize it? So the inspiration to move from professor R&D to a startup, what inspired and how would you like to commercialize it?
The motivation was basically that for a long time in the lifetime of professors, I would say, you keep just doing lots of R&D and you have amazing projects and you deal with a lot of people and you develop a lot of solutions. Many of them are maybe the best or great ones, but they eventually in the R&D, they end up in patents or they end up in journals or they end up in some publications. Some of them never see the light. Some of them never get used. People never get to know what you do. Or the academic community, of course, yes, knows about this. But then how are the whole world benefiting? How are other people knowing about what you do or making use of what you do? Maybe you did something amazing and you won, you did, yes, an amazing patent and you won a prize and so on. But then how did you leave the world a better place? This was always haunting me, I love the research projects and I love having big research teams and managing them and always getting to know the state of the art and doing developments and so on. But then after it's done or after we reach, this milestone, first of all, I never thought it's done because there's always something new. Once you do this today, you find someone else who did something better. So we have to go ahead and see what they did and try to do something even better. So it's an ongoing process, but at some point you get to the feeling that, this is ready to be seen. This is ready to serve the world. This is ready to help others solve problems. So this was mainly my motivation. It was one project I was working on 4 years ago. And we had a big team working on it, a multidisciplinary one. We had funding from the government for it. So we started actually working on this project. In its first phase, it didn't work out. So failure is normal also at this state. It didn't work out. So we ditched it for a while. And then I thought, let's retune the idea. So let's make use of the experiences that we learned. And then let's fine tune this. Let's listen to our customers. Let's go through this commercialization process if we want our idea to see the light eventually. So we started doing this again, but it's really hard for professors because this is not the background that they have. We know how to function well in the lab, in the lecture halls, in our offices with our research teams. But getting out of your comfort zone and talking to your actual customers, my mentor actually helped me a lot with this. He gave me, of course, he was Jim, the great Jim. He gave me a book on our first meeting. It's called Talking to Humans. And it was very interesting for me to go through it. It tells you, in your office and in your bubble, you think there are really some problems and you try to solve them and you think these are the most important ones, let's focus on this. But then the world is a different place. You have to get out, you have to talk to the people that you want to sell to. So this whole commercialization thing was really out of our comfort zones, I would say, as academics, especially as engineers. we build things, we make very amazing products, but then does the customer really care about the amazing product that I did if it doesn't have a nice interface, if it doesn't have a nice UI UX? It's clearly not. So he taught me a lot about this, how to talk to humans, how to listen to the customers, identifying them, what they need and what they want, and retuning your product accordingly. Because what I think is important is not really what's important. I have to listen and I have to apply and keep the cycle going on. So it was really a roller coaster, getting out of your comfort zone completely. Pitching especially was really challenging. It still is, because I always tell them, as professors, we can keep talking for hours, really. We can give lectures the whole day and we keep explaining things in completely different ways and repeating them one way after the other. But then they tell you have to pitch and you have to be very precise. Explain your innovation in 1 minute. And then what's 1 minute? I can talk for 120 minutes continuously. 1 minute is really challenging. So it changes your mind. It rearranges how you think. I have to say very few words, the most important ones in one way that has to be the best one. So this whole thing of starting with R&D and then going through commercialization in the market, it's a really different journey. Yet it has been very interesting and very fulfilling for me.
Wow. So I think a lot of challenges and a lot of going through mindset wise, and you're doing so many things put together. And I'm pretty sure Jim is one of the best mentors out there, and he's so amazing. So perfectly awesome on that part. Now, as you started this journey, getting into the mindset, so you've done the mindset change, and you're just into it and trying to now reflect on how to shorten things. And how to make pitches, and it's just a totally different world. And you start maybe looking at the product market fit or trying to engage, and now the pivot happens. Now the customer wants something else, or what you're trying to do. So what are the interesting pivots that happen, especially in your field where it's evolving at such a rapid pace?
Yes.
At the moment you finish something, there's something again new out there. So what are the pivots that you have taken in your business, and what made you do those changes?
Okay, so a lot, actually. There is a lot that has changed since day one and every day. So some of the major changes that we have had is, for example, in the beginning when we were working on this product, it was one tool that helps build digital twins for manufacturing entities. So when we started doing the commercialization for this project, I thought, okay, are we going to build a company only for this project? And then what happens a couple of years later, or what happens if other projects have the same state? So what I want to build is not a company that only sells one product, and then if maybe someone comes and buys this product, but I will continue to be a professor. I will continue doing research and development and developing other projects. So I thought this has to be something more comprehensive. It has to be a bigger umbrella under which we can build all these products and take them through the commercialization phase. So this was the first mind change for us. Are we commercializing one product, or are we really building like this incubation or big company that builds or has this cycle of getting ideas into R&D, into projects, into the commercialization phase, and then off to the market. So this was the first mind change for me, to have the company for general AI and digital transformation solutions. Then within the commercialization of specific projects, when you listen to advisors and investors and the people, the first thing that has changed, for example, was our revenue model. We thought in the beginning that we're trying to target with this the small to medium enterprises. So we wanted to have a very economic solution that they would use our services and pay as you go. So it was a SaaS model, cloud-based, so pay as you go made sense. And it was designed with small to medium-sized enterprises into mind. And then when we went out and talked to people, actually our first pilot customer is a multinational mega company. And it caught their attention. They thought, yes, we do have the very big softwares, but then we don't have the all the expertise to use them. They are really expensive. Some of them are paying the money, but they don't have someone in place to get this whole thing working. And your product is simple and really easy to use, and for them it's not that expensive. So yeah, we want to have it as well. It was very I wouldn't say shocking. It was good news, of course, because eventually they ended up as our pilot customer, but also really very revealing that what you think is, I'm looking here, and then something else comes up and you say, okay, then let's do it for you. So actually, instead of doing it for SMEs, we're now working with mega companies. And then came the revenue model. The revenue model was the pay-as-you-go. Yet in the residential, when we were meeting during my final pitch, I had lots of comments that maybe you want to change this. This might not be the most sustainable revenue model. So maybe you can do some part of it as a subscription based and then build up on it. It made perfect sense. So we're now switching to this subscription plus pay-as-you-go model. So it really keeps evolving. I'd say it's I read it once in a quote that this life of the entrepreneurship is like a revolving door. So you always keep revisiting your decisions over and over again and going them over and over again. If you decided on X on day 1, maybe on day 10 you would decide on Y. So just not to be rigid about target customers. All of this has changed for us since we started.
Wow. So I think that's an interesting perspective. Like, you started off solution for SMEs and then it went to a bigger multinational. And again, the bigger multinationals have money to spend. So again, they are the ones with big money. So I think that makes a lot more sense as well to them. Yes. I remember one quote of one of the LIFers. I took him in the podcast. He was from Vietnam. He was building a shaving cream in Vietnam, and then he realized that the sales are not happening. And the realization came to him during COVID that Vietnamese men don't have that much beard.
Okay.
So and then he started exporting, and he was trying crazy amount of money he was making. So that's pretty incredible. The same part, like, focused on Vietnam market, but then it went to other one, and this new realization, and he's evolving and is doing great.
Yes.
So very interesting insight there again from you. And in a short time, you've been able to onboard a customer itself is a big thing. To have a customer on board and their culture is so different than ours. It's again a learning from their end. So one thing now I want to take, maybe ask you is that now you have cracked the concept of from being into academics or an R&D to actually building a company and getting on board a customer. 80% of the LIFers are researchers who have this challenge, maybe the mindset, maybe getting another co-founder who can handle the other part of it. So what advice would you give to these LIFers who are into the R&D space to move into entrepreneurship or to start their own venture?
Okay, just one thing that you mentioned, you should be open to change. We have to know that it's a different mindset. The business and entrepreneurship needs completely different mindset than the one that we are working with in academia. I also remember one thing very interesting that Jim told me in one of our meetings, that when he was teaching in academia in general, mostly we use that the professor is someone that we always say yes to. So you just explain things and people listen to you and they agree, or maybe they want to discuss something with you, and it's usually you're used to people looking up to you as you're the bigger one, you're the older one, you know more, and so on. It's completely the opposite in business. So in business, it's different. Every day someone comes and tell you, no, you're wrong. And then we have to, let's discuss this. Why am I wrong? Okay, let's see, let's change things over. So this is one change that's really different, because you're not the right one anymore. You don't have all the knowledge anymore. Your customers know better. You have to listen to them. You have to follow, even if you think it doesn't make sense, but then he needs it, so you have to listen. So changing in the mindset is really very important. studying what the whole knowledge that you need to go through this process, which is what the LIF program provided us with. Knowing how to do marketing, how to build a business plan, how to study the market, who are your customers, what are their needs, and everything. So this is really something that you can learn. So it's teachable. So you have to go through this. You have to do it very well, and you have to apply it. So and show it to people and get their opinions and think, okay, this is and to be fine with things going not so well at the first time, and it just keeps improving as long as you don't give up, and keep yourself motivated that I'm always going to improve this. Let's see, maybe it happens in round 20, maybe it's better in round 10, maybe it's right in the second time. It's just putting the effort. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of change in the mindset of how we operate. This is really getting out of the comfort zone for all of us, because yes, most of us as LIFers come from the academic background. It's our comfort zone. Getting out of the comfort zone requires a lot of guts and motivation and effort and time and so on. So also having mentors was really life-changing. You have someone who's really honest with you. He wants to help, and you need to listen and actually apply what he did. So mentors in this stage is also something very, very important and critical.
Amazing. In terms of what you spoke about, having the guts, and it's again incredibly painful as well to get out of the comfort zone. So once it starts paining, we try to come back to the comfort zone. But it's an incredible journey, and I think you've done it, so it's pretty amazing. Now coming to the part in which us as LIFers, we are again segmented business-wise in terms of different segments. We got a lot of guys in solar, a lot of guys in medtech. We are again industry 4.0 or an AI kind of a spectrum. A lot of other LIFers out there in different spectrum. So with 1,000 LIFers across 17 countries, bifurcated in different cultures, different mindsets, it gives us a lot of opportunity for us to collaborate and to co-build solutions together, to co-sell, to co-partner, or again just license our products each other across countries and truly create a bigger impact. So what are your thoughts around that, or what are you looking for, some kind of collaborations, or are you seeking some kind of connections with some other LIFers?
Yes, so it's basically the network. The network of LIFers is just amazing. Be it the ones who are in your cohort that you meet and you get to interact a lot with, or the earlier ones. It has been, now it's 9 or 10 cohorts of LIF. So we're really a lot. It's a really very, very, very big network, a very rich one, because everyone is carefully selected. Everyone has been well educated and well mentored and followed upon to see his progress. So you're really, when joining LIF, you get introduced to an amazing network of people and mentors as well, and guides from the academy and from everyone who's giving support is very, very useful. So this network really has most of the guidance that you need. In the events, when they put you with all the investors and all the guests and so on, and you get to talk with them, they give you invaluable advice. So many of our problems were really just solved over in the residential, that, okay, I have this problem, and then you talk it out with people and someone tells you something and tada, it's there. Go implement the solution. It's really there. It never crossed my mind, but because you had this network of experts with different perspectives and different backgrounds, it helps you a lot. So being again stuck in your own environment, it's useful in solving the local problems, because they understand your local problems, and that again helps with getting to connect to the LIFers in your country from older or earlier stages. But then also having the very diverse network of people in different backgrounds helps you a lot. So number one is the network. Number two is that in many cases we can really help each other. So in the 1 minute pitch, when I was pitching for the joining the Alumni Advisory Council, I told them I will give you 3 reasons why I believe you should elect me, or how I would be useful for you. And one of them was that I'm now an associate professor of AI. I have worked on so many projects related to AI on solving multiple aspects, be it in health, be it in industry 4.0, be it in technology, in many aspects. So I can really help you out in this. This was the mindset that the academy wanted us to come to the residential with, that when you're going to spend 2 weeks with people that you never knew before, how you should think of this is how come to the residential with the mindset that I want to help at least 3 people. I will make their life better. I will give them help. I try to give them advice and so on. Don't do it the other way around. Don't think, how am I going to make use of you? No, how am I going to help you? I have something, I can be useful. I can help. Let me help you. So this was something I among the reasons that I said that I'm an AI expert. Let me help you, and it really worked. So after I did the election, many of our colleagues at the residential, they came, okay, I need some help with the AI in this. Which model do you think I should use? Which solution do you think I should use? Do you really think AI can help me here? So at some points we were discussing, yes, AI can help you, or no, you're good as you are, or maybe you can use this, maybe you can use that. So this type of contribution is also very useful within the LIF network. Something else, as you mentioned, was the co-partnering and selling and building. On the residential, I met a colleague from Jordan who was working on the same problem that I did. He was building something else, but his original job was as a consultant in the field that I'm working on. It was really great to get to hear his point of view, because he's acting like our customer. He's the consultant who would recommend our tool to his clients. And we thought, okay, we have to join forces. He's in Jordan, completely different company, different people. So we're now starting a collaboration together, that he would, him as a consultant and advising about our tool, helping us improve it, recommending it to our customers, to his customers. So it's really all sorts of collaboration and benefit is there, depending on what you need. They can be your customers, they can be your advisors, they can be your partners, can help you on all sides of the business.
Wow. So I think congratulations on again, starting it off in terms of again with another LIFO to explore how the things are. And again, the cultures will be different, but again, it's very interesting for you to go through that journey. So, so is there any particular target segment in mind? So I understand for you in the aspect of helping LIFers, do you have a segment like within AI, maybe these are the segments that I can help LIFers with? So do you have some segments in mind for you to help?
No, it's actually very diverse. So the types of projects that we have worked with or segments that we have been involved in is really, really very diverse. Technology is the straightforward one. So building anything with technology is the basic norm. But then we have helped also in some healthcare projects, using AI to detect anomalies in your, for example, heart rate or blood sugar level and so on, to keep monitoring health. So this we have worked on. Industry 4.0 is the area that we have started working on. Our first tool or prototype is in Industry 4.0. So, and this by itself is a whole universe, because different industries, they have different needs, they have different constraints and requirements. We have been in the medical industry, and but yet again in all the manufacturing industries, we can help solve their problems with AI and digitization, and even the very basic. If we're not building a tool, we were sometimes providing consultancies that maybe you should do this. Let's design your roadmap of digitization together. Let's help you plan your steps with us or with someone else or on your own, so we can just help you do this roadmap. So it has been a really diverse line of customers that we can deal with, or people that we have been speaking with during LIF, the amazing colleagues that I had. So yeah, it's really diverse. I wouldn't limit it to one segment. And this makes things interesting for us as well, that you get to know people from different industries and backgrounds and different needs, and see how things work differently in different areas. Yeah.
Perfect. So I think in the coming times we'll just have a group or a segment just for AI, and we'll have multiple segments interacting with them. I think that would be pretty interesting as well. So one of the questions that we ask here again in the podcast is that, it's an offbeat question, and the question is like, if you would have one superpower, what would that superpower be? So for your perspective, because I get a lot of crazy answers on this point, so I think.
I believe so. You must have really very interesting answers about this. And maybe I should have studied what other people have said in the earlier podcasts, so I remember a few answers. Well, I will answer this maybe from something that I'm struggling with. I would say if I would have one superpower, it would be to have copies of me. As we're juggling different things in life and in work, you try to be present at each and every one of them all the time. So you always want to be the CEO who's always there. I want to be the lecturer and the professor who's always there for your students, for your research students. You want to be the mom who's always there and the wife who's always there at the house. So there are really multiple roles that in the volunteering services that we do. I always try to be really present there for everyone, for every role, in every role that I have. So if there is one superpower that I would like to have, is to have copies of me present at every part of these roles all the time. And it's something that, because that would not happen, it's something that we have to learn, I believe, as entrepreneurs, to juggle all your roles and responsibilities, and try to do your best at all of them, so that you try to do it in a fulfilling way for you and for the people that you're working with.
Awesome. And all the copies will have the same variables as you have, or there will be some tweak in each variable?
Yeah, maybe then we can fine tune them to suit every situation. So yes. No, not exact copies. I would say the one that stays at home has to be a much better cook than me. The one who teaches has to have more and more patience. Maybe the one with the CEO needs a lot more experience and more years of experience in the market. So AI can help me with that. I will fine tune each and every one to suit their role.
And it's again pretty interesting to know that you have the strength, weaknesses, and which thing you need to focus on already figured out. So you can then zoom into, that's pretty self-reflection part of it is very rare again as well. So coming to the last part of the podcast, once the residential is over, because residential is one that's the peak, everybody's all thrilled with connecting, meeting, and so much of energy. And then you become an alumni part of it, and then the next cohort happens. So, and again, we've been having so many cohorts put together. So what kind of an activity or engagement do you think that could be done as a part of the AAC or as a part of the alumni that can really engage the LIFers? And because there are so many stories out there, so many innovations, so many learnings within ourselves as a community as well. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts around what kind of activities that we could have within the LIF alumni?
Okay, so just like you mentioned, Suraj, the residential is usually the peak of your LIF program. And after this, on the last day, you feel, okay, are we going to get, is this done? I don't want this to end. I've been learning so much and connecting so much with amazing people. But then, no, it's not. This is where the AAC comes into action. So this is really what the Alumni Advisory Council is about. We try to keep people connected. We try to put together and to the academy and to the network that has been there. So through the residential, you meet a lot of people. We have always been very keen and very sure that we keep a connection with everybody that you meet. Add them on LinkedIn or give them your contact and so on, and keep in touch with them to keep things going. And then always try to keep the connections on our LIF platform and with the representative from your country or your region or your cohort through the groups and through all the social media platforms. So it really does not end at the residential. Things keep going. Many countries do this in a very, very efficient way by having lots of events for the alumni, connecting them together, because at some point there has been LIFers in my country since 10 years ago. There's no way of me meeting them. But then when we do these local events, I can see them. So some of them are people that I have came to know through life, and I never know they had joined LIF. So I met people that I already know, and then I saw, okay, you did join LIF a couple of years ago. They said, yes, I never know you're here now on this round, and so on. So keeping things up and running is really what makes a difference. And this is part of our responsibilities at the AEC, to keep the alumni connected, have these events, be it physical or even virtual. So on our platform, sometimes I, as a part of my volunteering work with the IEEE, we organize webinars. In many times, we're looking for experts in different fields where I really don't have much knowledge about. This has been really useful for me. So I just go on the LIF platform and type a couple of keywords. It shows you many people who are have been in the business for a while in this, or experts in this, who are professors or subject matter experts about this, and you just send them the message, hey, I'm a LIFer as well, I need your help about this, let me invite you to a virtual event. And he's there, and they show up, and they're really amazing. Everybody's thrilled to meet them. So it's the residential is not the end, it's just the start, because we have all the means, and we have the AEC taking care of this connection, and the academy also keeps us always engaged with the events and hackathons. These have been, I met also many amazing people through them. So it's really the beginning for a really interesting. AEC members are doing a great job at trying to keep people together and connected.
Amazing. Great to hear that, Maggie. So I think you have in Crux spoke about a lot of aspects of the AAC and the alumni put together, and it's just the beginning on how we can leverage or how we can help each other in terms of creating a bigger and better impact.
Yeah. Yes.
So thank you so much for your time, Maggie, and it's been incredible to talk to you, getting so many different perspectives and getting your energy vibe in terms of sharing it, and then the helping part coming out, and then the multiple hats that you've been wearing, and looking at solving it with AI maybe, and then getting your copies out there. And it's been incredibly what you spoke and shared insights. So thank you for being on the LIFI podcast, and we look forward to connect with you again as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Suraj, for this opportunity. It has been really great meeting you, of course, on the AEC, and getting to this podcast with you. It's really a great idea. I have enjoyed all of your previous interviews with the mentors and with previous alumni. So thank you for the effort that you put on this. And it has been really my pleasure to have this interesting talk with you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.